This story doesn't have an ending. How it started no longer matters. Somewhere in the middle, stumbling around in the dark, is where we are now. Answers hide in the chaos. And the real question is, somewhere between the beginning and the end, can you find peace in the uncertainty?
At I-24 News, I'm David Matlin, coming to you live from Tel Aviv, wherever you are in the world.
We have major breaking news out of Houston, Texas right now. News that could alter the course of this deadly coronavirus pandemic. Dr. Abigail Kincaid, who apparently is doing research in Costa Rica, posted a live video to her Facebook account claiming she has stolen a vial of serum that contains the exact biological organisms capable of producing a vaccine for COVID-19. Kincaid was frantic in her video post, claiming there are only 7 people in the entire world who have the right antibodies to bond with the serum. And if that's not enough to grab your attention, she also claims those 7 people are all women and all named Rosemary.
Finally, Dr. Kincaid accuses the World Health Organization of holding a secret bidding war to determine which of these 7 women named Rosemary would be offered a reward to receive the single injection. It's a bit much to take in, but watch and listen to her Facebook video we have obtained. We warn you, she appears frightened and frantic.
I am Dr. Abigail Kincaid.
Hey, turn on World News right now.
Hello? Please, anyone watching, I only have a few minutes to explain, and I can only say this once. I am Dr. Abigail Kincaid. I practice research medicine at Herman Memorial Hospital in Houston, Texas. We have found a cure for COVID-19. Actually, we have always had one. And for reasons I can't explain right now, we never followed through. Only a handful of people in the entire world know about this. I have fucking stolen it. This is it. This is not a fucking joke. So listen to me very carefully. In 5 minutes, I am boarding a private jet in an airstrip in Costa Rica. Just in case I don't make it back to Texas alive, I am giving this vial to the one and only person in the world that I can trust right now. No, I can't tell you who, but when this live video stream ends, you will be automatically taken to a series of videos that contain the profiles of 7 people from around the world. The only 7 people in the entire world who have the natural antibodies to make this serum an active vaccine. A cure for this fucking virus. I know, it sounds crazy, but you've got to trust me. This is our only hope. And that's not the bad news. Here, you gotta let me out right here. Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. Because only one of these 7 people can be injected with this serum. There isn't enough to go around, and the fucking microproteins in the serum can't be duplicated without the biological DNA found in only one of those 7 people. The World Health Organization knows who they are, but the countries around the world are secretly fucking bidding on which one of them should get the injection.
Dr. Kincaid, stop. Put your hands above your head.
You can't trust the government.
This is a warning.
They're coming. We've got to do this ourselves.
Dr.
No,
Kincaid,
you have to do this. Watch their videos.
above your head.
Alto, esta es la policía. Baja el teléfono inmediatamente.
They're all
Ponga sus manos
named
en el aire.
Rosemary.
Alto, esta es la policía. Baja el teléfono inmediatamente. Ponga sus manos en el aire.
At the end of the video, there will be instructions on how to contact the one that you believe deserves it most.
We have confirmed that there is a Dr. Abigail Kincaid who works for Herman Memorial Hospital in Houston. She has been missing since posting that video less than 12 hours ago. The videos of the 7 women were apparently part of the evidence Dr. Kincaid obtained while on mission in Costa Rica. Documentation shows that each one of these women had recently had blood work done and was ordered by their doctors to self-quarantine.
How did they get my details?
Their lab tests were shared with the CDC, who then passed the data on to world leaders once the virus became a pandemic. Their personal videos were then taken from the internet through social media postings.
Fuck.
When Dr. Kincaid discovered the secret files being compiled of the 7 women, they were simply labeled as Rosemary number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. A highly classified task force was in the process of confiscating all of their social media photos, videos, and of course, confirming their exact locations around the world. Joining me now from the Dominican Republic is the independent filmmaker who broke the story. Sonia Pena met Dr. Kincaid while in Costa Rica. First of all, Miss Pena, why are you now in the Dominican Republic and on a rooftop?
Because my life is in danger, just like Dr. Kincaid's. I'm actually in Santo Domingo. This is one of the few places where I can track them down. And I know Santo Domingo like the palm of my hand, so it's perfect.
Where is Dr. Kincaid?
I don't know. We were about to release the classified information about the Rosemarys when she shadowed that plane in Costa Rica. And she trusted me that if something happens to her, I will be able to tell the world. And, you know, people can decide which Rosemary deserves to be seen rather than the government.
Are you ready to show us the videos?
Yes. These are all the 7 women named Rosemary who have the antibodies to create the COVID-19 vaccine.
We can survive this, and we will survive this. I think being that close to death again, I realize that this tugging at my soul can only release itself in the way that I know, and that is to write. I mean, most of you know that I'm here in France to research my latest Delaray novel, Nothing But the Truth. The only truth, the real truth, is that I finally find myself in a place of sincerity and candor and honesty. And I'm haunted night and day by this COVID-19. I'm haunted by this unseen enemy. I mean, the streets are empty and we are forced to hide. We're in the dark and we're waiting for someone to turn a light on. I cannot do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. I won't remain silent because I never have. And starting today, I will nakedly bear all of my truths in the only way I know how. And that is, I will sit and I will write a new book. And it will comfort me to know that you are there, listening, because together we will find the truth again. In life, certain events give you breathing space to reflect and look deep into yourself, into the inner depths of your soul, and I find myself doing that in my only truth, right now, in this instant, is to finally do what I've always wanted to do and tell my story. I'm speaking to the camera just so I can get this down. This is the way I work. I listen to opera music. I go through a process of going down to the river, making notes. So that's my notebook. I first make my notes. I come and write it down here. And then I read it to the camera so I can interject. My fans who are used to me writing crime novels, this is no longer a crime novel. The virus is about how it could have united us. It could have actually united the world. And actually what it's done is really divide the world, with borders closing down and airplanes being grounded, and none of us know what the fuck's going on here. I mean, this is what I wrote at the river. It was about 2 weeks after I arrived in France that I started showing symptoms. I was told to stay at home and monitor my symptoms, as I was sick in France. And in South Africa, one of the strictest lockdowns in the world was busy happening. 22nd of December, I wrote this poem. And that was 22nd December 2019. We are the pathological pathogens. We are the pathological pathogens causing the pandemic. Sure, we've flown to the moon and back, but never kept track of our world and how we live in it. We need a lockdown. Ground all planes. Don't look back in anger when the virus remains and spreads at an alarming pace, waking up the human race. Not much will be known as we self-isolate. It will be time to reflect on the world's state. And I start to feel better, but my temperature is down for the first time in a while. I spent the day walking around Perigord to get a taste, smell and feel of the narrow cobbled streets from a long time ago. So many coffee shops overflowing with people sitting on the sidewalk, so different to my life in Cape Town. I instantly fell in love. So I mean, here I am. I'm in France. I'm discovering a connection back to God that I didn't have. I mean, is that to do with France? Is that to do with COVID-19? I don't fucking know. I don't know, but it's there. Is it to do with that I've been sick and Alex isn't here? And I don't know when I'm going to see her. And she can't fly here to be with me on her birthday. But yet, and she was crying about it, but yet I'm sitting here happier than I've ever been.
So, this is so weird, and now I'm starting to wonder why I'm doing this. But I have been in lockdown in Auckland, New Zealand for, God, I don't even know how long now. And it's ironic because I came here to be secluded, to be by myself, to not see anyone and get on with my art. And what most people don't realise is art is a very solitary job. You can't really watch TV while you do it. You don't have people around you. Once you start a project, you're really just on your own until it finishes. So everything I asked for I got. I'm completely alone, which is sometimes nice. Can walk around in a bikini a lot, but I miss my friends, I miss my family, my grandparents, everyone. I even miss people I don't even like, just stupid. But there we go.
Are you alright, Rosemary?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, I'm okay. It's really warm here.
Are you wearing sunscreen?
Yes, I have sun cream on now. Yeah. They said it's going to start getting colder in the next few weeks, but New Zealand cold and British cold, I think, are two different things. Sorry, there's a really cute bird at the end of my garden.
Oh, hello!
It's gone. Yeah, I mean, I'm scared, but scared because I don't know if it's going to get worse. Don't know if it's going to get better, when it's going to get better. It's just, you know, the feeling that you can't go back.
I have no friends, no family, a couple of people I can talk to. There's a time difference. I don't always get to speak to my parents, so I do wake up a lot of days kind of thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Thanks so much. Bye.
Hello, my name is Rosemary. I am 24 years old and I am from Israel. This is the first time that I'm making a video like this. I don't usually do that, but I would just like to share some positivity and my thoughts about what's happening right now in the world. I've been speaking to my family, my relatives, my friends, and some of them are really struggling. And I mean, I struggled as well. It's not easy, it's tough. But we just need to, now we have the time to reflect on who we are, on what we do. And sometimes we forget that. We forget what we can do for ourselves. We forget the struggles that we've been through, because everybody goes through struggles. But now it's time to reflect, and we need to value ourselves. I had struggles mentally. Once I've been in lockdown, I struggled so much. But now, after being affected by COVID-19, I actually think that right now there's nothing bad that could happen in my life that can put me back into that point. simple things. I like to exercise now. I am pushing myself to eat good food, to go back into what I love, to dance, to be happy, to just vibrate this positive energy into the world. And I know that this is not going to last forever. The virus will go. Sooner or later, it will go. But all that matters is us, is our mental health, our physical health. We need to take care of it because that's what we have. I've never valued my life before. I had because I was surrounded by people who we always thought of like success, of getting a nice job, of always like being famous and successful in social media, and all that is crap. It really doesn't matter. What matters is you being happy with yourself, is going to bed at night and saying that I am happy with what I'm doing. Even if I didn't have any of that, I am happy with my own skin, with my spirit, and how I'm growing and who I want to become as a person in this world. So I just wanted to share this video and say, guys, we are who we are.
And if you can't shape your life the way you want, at least try as much as you can not to degrade it by too much contact with the world, by too much activity and talk. Try not to degrade it by dragging it along, taking it around and exposing it so often to the daily silliness in social events and parties until it comes to seem a boring hang-on.
Did you know they really believe that people with the same name actually have common traits? Like, people born under the same zodiac sign. I was a twin. Many people couldn't tell us apart, except Mom and Dad, really. She was definitely the more social of the two of us. When I had my head stuck in a book, hers was in front of a crowd encouraging joy to anyone that she met. When I woke up to a cup of tea, she woke up to mimosas. When I fell in love with my studies, she found love traveling and making new friends. The The reason I smiled, laughed, fell in love, cried. The reason I never left Seattle. One day, she fell. Her body would be bruised and she would have these uncontrollable nosebleeds that were inexplainable. Turns out she had cancer. Being her, not only her sister, but her twin, we were told that she had a significantly higher percentage of survival. 36%, to be exact. But your odds don't get any better than that in cases like this. So after multiple transfusions, things were finally looking up. I told her, "You're getting the fuck out of here. Next month we're getting on a plane and we're flying to fuck knows where, and we're gonna lay in the sun and drink till we don't know our own names." She was my best friend. Why am I telling you this? Why should you fucking care? Because doctors can be wrong. Science can be wrong. People can be wrong.
As we wake up, you'll likely be changing to some iced coffee as we go into the weekend, as we heat things up and clear out our skies.
How's that for a so northwest forecast? We're seeing those clouds blanketing Paulsbo right now. Paris mentioned a little bit of mist and drizzle in a couple of communities, watching the possibility for on and off again sprinkles, mainly Snohomish County and northward. A little bit of light rain along the coast or perhaps the Olympics. Elsewhere, though, we're dry into the afternoon. Hour by hour this morning, we stay in the 50s through 9 o'clock. Certainly keep the light layer, the light jacket with you. Possibly peeling back those layers later on this afternoon. Squeezing out a couple of sun breaks if we're lucky, but even that is optimistic. For the greater Seattle area, as I think for the most part, we are stuck beneath the clouds, and it's all due to this marine layer. Westerly winds blowing from surface high offshore down to low pressure into eastern Washington. These winds switch to come out of the north this weekend, and that's what's going to allow for things to warm up efficiently. As for today, we are certainly below average, and we'll be feeling it with those mainly murky skies, upper 60s, low 70s. We got 67 in Redmond, upper 60s, Monroe, through Bellevue, Issaquah, and Maple Valley, 67 for Tacoma.
Nothing.
Beneath 70 degrees out toward the northwest interior, Paris 66.
Nothing.
Como News 1000, FM 97.7, winner of the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award for Best Newscast. Live now to ABC for this update at 10:30.
The world is reacting today over headlines we are calling the 7 Rosemarys. After learning that a doctor from the United States claims she has stolen a serum capable of producing a vaccine for this coronavirus. Dr. Abigail Kincaid posted a video to her Facebook page detailing her crime. She also claims there are only 7 women in the entire world with the DNA to bond with that serum, and she wants the world to know who those 7 women are. Her hint? They are all named Rosemary. The Houston doctor is on the run in Costa Rica, but managed to hand the social media videos of all 7 women over to a filmmaker in the Dominican Republic. Those videos are to be broadcast to the world for the first time. None of these women were aware of their unique antibodies. It turns out only one of them can receive the injection because there isn't enough serum to go around. A website has been set up to allow the world to vote on which Rosemary they think should be the chosen one.
I've always been the kind of person who's never really believed in themselves. I didn't think that this was going to be emotional. I don't know. And I think in this quarantine, a lot of things have changed. Honestly, for the better. I clean my dishes, which I never did. I wake up at like 7:30 in the morning, or sometimes 6:30. And I usually, before quarantine, I wouldn't wake up. I'd be lucky if I woke up before noon. I'm pretty sure I was depressed. I don't know if I should show you this, but this is my room. I'm an artist, so those are my artworks, but this is my flippin' floor. Wow, look at that. Oh, what a beauty she is. I'm a mess, I'm a mess, I'm a mess. I'm a mess, and I shaved my head in December because, short story short, I'm bad at relationships and was high with my best friend. So my daughter's been staying with her dad. Me and the dad aren't together because, well, because of a lot of reasons, but guess the simple explanation is I didn't want to be in the relationship anymore because we just weren't a good match, but I also cheated, so there's that thing about me that you know now. She's with him. I just started a YouTube channel. I write songs when I'm stressed out. I write books and nobody really reads my books. I make videos and nobody really watches my videos. So I'm just doing what I love. Sometimes I like to turn the lights on in my room just to feel like I'm somewhere. I don't know where I would be. Probably partying it up at some nightclub. Or at the bottom of the ocean. I could be in a starry night or in the soul of a Christmas tree. Maybe I'm just in my room with some lights turned on.
I fall down when you're mine. I get up and you're a stranger. Out of sight, out of mind. No wanting to surrender. put up a good fight for deer in a headlight, like a moth to a spark, catching fire before it ever starts. Even highways sound like oceans if you're far enough away. And it's all just smoke and illusion, and you've still got a hold on me.
Are you going crazy? Are you going mad? No. Never.
Hello? Mum? Yeah, I'm fine. Why? No, I haven't been watching the news. It's basically the same shit every day. Why? Why? Well, what's happened? Tell me. What, now? Fine. Okay, I'll do it now. Okay. Love you. So you want to know my story? You know, I'm 27 years old and no one has ever asked me about my story. What the fuck? Every single dance audition I've been to, it's how much do you weigh? How tall are you? What colour hair do you have? They don't care about what's happened to you. What the fuck? I once worked at a place and they had my weight written on the wall. Literally. For everyone to see. All of us girls with our weights written on a wall. Like, that's okay that however many people walked past could see that I was the heaviest girl in this cast. And then they wonder why we work our bodies to the extreme. They wonder why we don't want to eat cake every day. They wonder why we're all struggling with ourselves. It's funny. But what's brought me here? In lockdown in Yorkshire? Well, right now I'm meant to be in South Africa rehearsing for my first cruise contract, and instead I'm in Yorkshire, completely alone, trying to run myself to be happier. God. And why am I feeling sorry for myself when there's people that are dying out there? I'm worried because I haven't got a job for a year. I haven't got a job anytime. But there's people that are on their deathbeds right now. So stupid. I don't deserve to be worrying about myself.
question is, shall I get up or have 5 more minutes in bed? I could play Candy Crush for 5 minutes. My secret pleasure. No, I really ought to get up. I've got lots to do today. I need to practice my singing. Get something up on my channel. And set myself a mission to get back onto point for my ballet. Need to practice that every day, really. Or 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Hi, I'm so excited that you've joined me in my YouTube channel. I hope you like what you see here. I'll explain a little bit about me. I have been singing and dancing for as long as I can remember. Apparently I was quite an embarrassment to my parents, who said I would break into song anywhere and everywhere. So when it came to a career choice, I went to theatre school in London. I actually didn't finish the course because I landed a job in a musical Annie that was touring at the time. I met my husband there. He was playing in the orchestra. All very romantic. All the stuff that films are made of. We had 2 children. And we basically kept on touring. We were very lucky that we managed to land jobs, basically most of the time, in the same company. So we were very much the touring circus. But when our 3rd little girl, Amy, came along, she had quite a serious genetic condition, which meant we had to be near medical care for her in her formative years. So we settled down in Scotland, and we had our own private teaching practices for about 20 years. And now all our children have flown the nest, and Amy, the trouble causer, has 2 little trouble causers of her own. And I decided that I would audition again, and I got a part in the musical Betty Blue Eyes, which then closed due to this blessed pandemic. So I need to perform, and I decided that I would have to do it electronically. So here I am. This is my YouTube channel. I will sing, of course. Nobody, nobody, nobody calls me nobody. There might be some dancing. There might be some aerobics. Did I mention I'm a complete fitness fanatic? Chest up, keep breathing. There might be some ballet. This is Helga. Helga and I are going for a good walk. I'm really lucky that when I go shopping, I go past this amazing building. This is Kelvin Grove Art Gallery, and it's right at the bottom of my garden. And just something to make you smile in these really rather difficult times. Every day, for as long as I can remember, I've done this in the hope that one day I will just be able to drop down into the splits. Thing is, now I'm of a certain age, even though I'm in musical theatre, I don't really dance. I'm described as a mover, so I don't really need to do the splits. But it's kind of on my bucket list. Look, watch. If I do it slowly, I'm just about there. So, please subscribe, press that little bell, and the show will go on. The show must go on. But with all this sadness in the world, it's hard to be like that anymore. No hugs. Nothing really to console us. That personal contact that was so important before all this. Now people just move away from you. It makes you feel bad. But I know it's got to be done.
So, I'm making a crumble. Every Wednesday when the kids were little, we had a crumble. It was something to look forward to. And I wanted to make myself a crumble, just to remind myself that there's a lot to look forward to. This will end. We will get through it. And we will be able to hug each other again.
Me? No. Oh, come on. This has got to be a joke.
And there you have it, the social media videos of the 7 Rosemarys that were confiscated by the government.
What if it isn't?
Unfortunately, filmmaker Sonia Pena had to leave the rooftop in Santo Domingo while we were watching the videos of the 7 Rosemarys. She works for Vanilla Palm Films and was researching their next film project when she met Dr. Kincaid.
Jesus. My name's Rosemary. Just one in a trillion, named after a plant that doesn't need water in order to survive, right? But I'm also I've been told, just one of 7 people with enough antibodies in this entire freaking world to cure this fucking virus. Oh yeah, I survived it. That's the good news, right? The bad news is the one and only one person with enough serum to create a vaccine is holding it hostage to the highest bidder. Let me say that again. There are only 7 Rosemarys who can cure this shit in the entire fucking world. So help me. Let us get our lives back. We can't trust this fucking government. We're all we have. So I am going to go find the other 6 Rosemarys. And then you and I will decide who gets to be saved. Scotland. Why Scotland? And does she have links to the FBI? USA.
When I met Ashley, everything was good. Everything was happy. I was excited. And then he... well, he did stuff that I guess is not okay, but... you forget about the things, the bad things, when you fall in love with someone, don't you? Or at least I did, and then slowly and slowly they just fade away. I remember the first time I came back and he was just passed out, just laying there. I didn't know what to do. I hadn't seen anything like that. Ever. So you know what I did? I got some water and I started flicking it on his face, thinking he was joking. Obviously he wasn't joking. When he eventually woke up, that was it. It was all my fault. All my fault that he couldn't stop himself from drinking. He's calling me a psycho and trying to grab me, and but you just forget about it, don't you? forget that these things happened. As soon as he changes and goes, oh, I love you. Hey Ash, it's me. I'm just leaving you a message, obviously. I'm just checking you're okay. I assume you haven't read my messages. I know it's only day 2, but I miss you. Stay safe, yeah? I love you. I looked into his eyes and I just forgot. Forgot that he was trying to hit me a second ago. I don't know why I'm still madly in love with him, but can't help it. And he's blaming me for everything, but I don't think I've done anything. Maybe I do just deserve to be alone forever. Maybe that's what my story is. I'll be alone. I'll have my teddy bear. And I just will stay in Yorkshire forever, I guess. I won't go to South Africa. I won't go on a cruise. And I won't ever have a man. There. That's it. Life's sorted, eh? If only it were as easy as that. If only you could just run away from every single problem. There we go. Easy as pie. I think that's good. So I can't go to Mom and Dad's because I'm not supposed to be around people right now. Can't call you. It's obvious. We know why. And I was unable to sleep. So obviously you can hear it's early
fucking morning. So I decided to build a fort, like what we used to do when we were kids. Well, Mom and Dad have been ringing me off the hook. I don't know how you did it. They clearly miss you very much. So I can't tell if it's me that wants to get off the phone or them. If they regret calling me or if I literally just can't listen to them because it's just a reminder that I'm the only one left. I don't know what to say anymore. I feel like I've been sending you these videos and hoping that you're gonna respond or hoping that somehow it keeps a piece of you alive, and I know that that's impossible, but I don't know why I keep doing it. It's just more of a wish or a hope. Fuck. Really wish that you didn't fucking die. Oh, yeah. Or if it had been me instead of you. Not much would have been taken from the world in that scenario. Not that I want to die, but if it meant that you would be here, I would have given myself up for that.
Hello? How did you get my number? Can you verify your date of birth? Can you confirm your location? Okay. Okay. Listen, I know you guys have a lot of questions right now, but I have to be very careful with what I say. Lives are in danger, including mine. The best thing you can do is to stay tight, and when the time is right, there will be information available on the Manila Palms Film website. Keep checking it. Once I have everything in place, I'll let you know. And don't call me to this number again.
It's funny, I've done all sorts of art since I've been here. I've been blocked, I've been creative, I've been stupid, I've been just drawing what I feel like. Kind of miss being around other people, like in a life drawing class. It's kind of fun. I never told anyone this, but I used to be well, art school's really expensive and it's kind of hard to find time to work part-time. So a teacher, I don't know whether this was completely legit or not for him to offer, but said that they needed life drawing models, so I did that for a bit. I mean, it was fucking scary at first, but after a while you kind of get used to it, and then no one's really looking at you. You're just, yeah, you're naked, but you're just circles and lines and, you know, triangles, and I guess everyone is. Just circles and lines and triangles. I kind of miss not seeing any circles and lines and triangles. Anyway, I thought I could just start making a video diary of my time here. You know, something to do. As she waved her hands about to emphasise a point, the heavy rings on her slender fingers rattled, and her charm bracelet tinkled. She was full of enthusiasm for her new home, and the other guests were fascinated to hear how it had come about that she lived after day under the blue cypress skies. Marcus enjoyed Frau's company.
She had an appetite for life that he admired, and she was often the last person to leave the bar. Sometimes Marcus daringly gave her a kiss on both cheeks at the end of an evening. When Savas came out onto the terrace, Marcus noticed Aphrodite, in green, behind him. Creme de menthe, he thought. That's what she reminds me of.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. So I was speaking to Jess earlier, and she was saying about how people have done like little Skype dates. So I thought maybe date night with me.
Rosemary?
Hi. Hi, Helen. Gosh, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, I had a meeting, like a job, a work thing on Skype, so I just thought I'd, pop on a bit of makeup. I'm so sorry to hear about your sister, by the way.
We are very concerned.
Yeah. No, I know, it makes it so much scarier when it's someone you know.
Right. So just checking on you.
I'm so sorry.
Cheers.
Yes, of course, yes. You have a good evening. Bye. Oh my god. That's tragic. That can't happen again.
I gotta go.
Wait, you... Hello? 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 I don't know why I started painting. I used to do it with my grandma. She's who I'm named after her. Grandma Rosemary. I used to paint at hers all the time. And she used to keep buying me crayons and paintbrushes. And she used to have a fit if I left them in the water. She said, they'll ruin them, they'll ruin them. I love spending time at hers. It was so quiet. Ever since then, I've just hated noise, traffic, people, crowds. I hate it.
Hi, how are you? Well, I have spoken to all 7 Rosemarys, and they all support conducting the online vote. Every single one of them expressed serious concern that it's extremely important the entire world population pay attention and choose the Rosemary they feel will best represent them as the global ambassador, The website is ready people just need to go vote now. But here's the thing, the Rosemary living in Hungary, the one that does not have the antibodies, is very sick. She does not know she's not one of the 7. Her husband has been detained by the Hungarian government, and all communication has been cut off with her. I have been trying to reach her. I tried to send someone over there to inform her, but her house is being completely watched.
Please return to passenger security checkpoint at 2A side as soon as possible.
Many of you are at home, struggling with this virus. And in case you missed it yesterday, a doctor from the United States claims to have stolen a serum capable of producing a vaccine. She also claims there are only 7 women in the entire world with the DNA to bond with the serum. All of those women are called Rosemary. Dr. Abigail Kinsiad handed the social media videos of all 7 women over to a filmmaker in the Dominican Republic to broadcast to the world for the first time.
These are
all the 7 women named Rosemary who have the antibodies to create the COVID-19 vaccine.
None of those women were aware of their unique antibodies. It turns out that only one of them can receive the injection because there isn't enough serum to go around. A website has been set up to allow the world to vote on which Rosemary they think should be the chosen one.
Hello?
I saw you on TV, on the rooftop, talking about 7 Rosemarys that have the antibodies for this virus.
Oh my God, I have been looking everywhere for you.
You have? Why?
You are Rosemary, right? From Budapest.
So you know why I'm calling you? I need your help.
I know about your husband being detained at the border, but I didn't know where you were.
Well, I don't understand. Why do you know me? How do you know about my husband?
Listen, Rosemary. Your husband was detained because the Hungarian government thought you were one of the 7 Rosemarys that can produce the vaccine. They were outbidding everyone for the serum, and they wanted to trade your husband in exchange for you taking the injection.
I'm not one of the 7 Rosemarys.
They didn't know that when they stopped you. They were going to wait until they had the serum. They took your husband as an insurance policy that you had taken the bribe.
But I'm sick. I may be dying. There's nowhere to go. There aren't enough ventilators.
You need to hang on, Rosemary. Your husband will be released in a few days. I have already spoken with the embassy. They had agreed to release him in a few days. And I am so sorry to just... Your name, your files, your information, everything was in the document Dr. Kincaid stole. But now they know you do not have the antibodies to fight off this virus. I'm sorry.
It's been a week since the news of 7 women, all named Rosemary, were identified as having the right antibodies to produce a vaccine for COVID-19. I think it's safe to say now, the story has made everyone a bit paranoid.
An elderly and blind landlord in Mississippi actually locked up one of her own tenants, fearing she would spread the virus throughout the apartment building. She kept her tenant locked in for 7 days. The woman, who is also named Rosemary, was finally freed when a package delivery man showed up at her door and heard her cries for help. The tenant was not sick, and now she says she will change her name due to the trauma of being mistaken for one of the 7 Rosemarys.
Hey, it's Rosemary. I was calling to see if you wanted to book a session. Screw this quarantine. I have been in lockdown for 2 weeks, and I've got to eat and pay my bills soon. Hold on one second. Hold on, I'm on the phone. Look, I've got somebody at the door. Just give me a call back if you change your mind.
They said you got the virus. I'm locking you in. I know what I heard, Rosemary.
Hello?
I'm locking you in. I just saw you on the news.
You're doing what?
They said you got the virus. I'm locking you in.
I'm not sick.
I know what I heard, Rosemary.
Listen, old lady, this is not funny.
I don't need my kids getting sick.
What the fuck?
To know who those 7 women are. Her hint? They are all named Rosemary. The Houston doctor is on the run in Costa Rica, but managed to hand the social media videos of all 7 women over to a filmmaker in the Dominican Republic.
Hello?
Those videos are to be broadcast
Miss Dot.
to the world for the first time.
It's not me they're talking about. You have the wrong Rosemary.
It turns out only one of them can receive the injection because there isn't
Miss
enough
Dot, you're
serum to
half
go
blind
around.
and
A
crazy.
website
Open
has
this
been
damn
set up
door.
to allow the world to vote on which Rosemary they think should be the
If you think about it, very few times will our name matter. Something happened recently, stealing individuality and rendering a name worthless. It simply did not care about identity. We could have all been named Jesus, Joseph, or Rosemary. And if you are someone who needs answers and order, tags or labels, then you probably haven't learned your lesson.
I'm Holly Dodd from World News Australia, Melbourne, with an exclusive interview you won't want to miss. Many of you will recall the independent journalist Sonia Pena, seen here on a rooftop in the Dominican Republic. She wrote the story known around the world as Save Rosemary. You no doubt know about the 7 women, all who are named Rosemary, who have the antibodies to produce a vaccine for COVID-19. What you don't know is that we have found the man that she works for. We have decided to interrupt our regular programming and cover this story until it ends. And because there are so many time zones around the world who need this information, we have anchors here in Australia, London and New York to keep you updated. Joining us now via satellite is Vanilla Palm Films executive producer, Jimmy Andrews. Let me begin here in Australia, Melbourne. Where are you, Jimmy?
Hi, Holly. Actually, I wish I was there with you in Australia. But no, I am at one of our editing facilities on the island of Maui.
Do you know Dr. Abigail Kincaid, the woman who claims to have stolen the serum?
Of course, yes, I know Abigail. I met her in Houston.
Where is Dr. Kincaid now? The last we saw of her, she was running from the authorities in Costa Rica.
You know I can't tell you where she is, but I can tell you that she's safe, and I think you will be hearing from her again real soon.
Many people are calling this whole thing a hoax, and you have to admit it does seem a bit far-fetched that the only women in the entire world with the right antibodies to match the serum are all named Rosemary.
I think if we get hung up on them all having the same name, then we miss the point the virus has made. It does not matter what our name is, where we live, what color we are. It has made us all equal. You know, some people will always need answers and have everything in its neat little place on the shelf and in order. But this virus stripped us of certainty and left us with complete chaos. If we can't believe they're all named Rosemary, then we haven't really learned our lesson yet. It's not about that.
So let me get this straight. All 7 Rosemarys have the antibodies necessary to fight the virus, so they're not going to die. In that case, why did you ask the world to go online and vote for which Rosemary they want to receive the injection?
Because we want to put the power back in the hands of the people. Now, everyone needs to vote so we can take a little bit of control back in our lives. I'll put it this way. Save Rosemary from the bureaucracy and corruption. It's as important as saving her life. It's more like a symbol. And this is a way for us to put the power back into the hands of the people and let them decide which Rosemary deserves this injection.
Do you have the serum? Are you the one that Dr. Kincaid gave it to in that car ride to the airstrip?
I knew you were going to ask this, but no, I was not the one she handed the serum to. I do know where the serum is. It is safe in a bank vault with heavy security. And it will be hand-delivered to the Rosemary that the world decides deserves it.
Mr. Andrews, why are you making this film?
Well, I woke up 2:30 in the morning and realized the story was right in front of us. Why allow this pandemic to continue to cripple us as people? Artists want to create, and confinement is their worst predicament. So I said no more. We can make a film worlds apart from each other. We have the technology. So I assembled other artists from around the world to make this film. We had a script in 5 days. And it's about how this virus has changed our lives forever. But we will get our identity back. I'm doing it for the people who are trapped right now and wanting to feel normal again and looking for some hope and a way out.
delivery. Need someone to sign for it. Need someone to sign for it.
Wait, I'm coming.
I guess I'm not one of the lucky Rosemarys. I hope one of you will save the world from this virus. It has taken too much from too many. It's funny, in a way, that your name can mean everything, and then nothing at all. I wish I could have gotten to know each of you. Maybe. A secret of yours. No one knows. What are you afraid of? Who you gonna be with you when you die? Or maybe just an apology you owe someone.
Okay. So I'm going to do these questions that you've sent over. Number 1, my greatest fear. My greatest fear is living a life without purpose. At the end of my life, looking back and having nothing to say about it. Having other people look back and feel sorry for me because I was so isolated and alone even before all of this. I just really want to have a life worth living.
So, a secret I haven't shared with anyone. My one big secret, I suppose, is actually shared with one more person. The story started when I was at theatre school in London. I had a short and uncomfortable relationship with a girl from art school. It didn't last very long, and I never had another relationship with a woman, and I'd been married happily to a man for nearly 40 years. But something unusual and special happened during that short relationship. Julie drew me, like in the Titanic moment. You know, draw me like one of your French girls. And I kept the drawing. I've had it all these years in the bottom of a trunk. I'd never look at it. And this trunk, it's travelled around with us. It's sort of full of little mementos and stuff. From house to house, and as far as I know, it's still there. But nobody but me knows it. Makes me want to go and look at it now. So, the trunk with the drawing. I don't know if I want to do this. Oh, all this old stuff. Ah! My old PE bag. Little mementos and my wedding bag. Oh my gosh, my granny's old tin. Oh, there it is.
A secret that I haven't shared with anyone is a story that happened 5 years ago. It was Christmas time and I decided to go back to my hometown and spend that time with my best friend that I haven't seen for ages. And so I flew back there, and the next day I take my car and I start driving to my friend's house. It was around 2 hours drive. Yeah, it wasn't long at all. So as I start driving, I see an old woman hitchhiking. I stop and I tell her where she's going. She told me she wanted to visit her daughter and that there were no buses, and she begged me if I could take her with me, so I did. And I told her come in, and we just drove off. When I started speaking with her, I asked her where does she live, what does she do, and she told me that she just lives by herself. She just has a daughter that's pregnant and she wants to go and visit her right now. But I don't know, I just got a strange feeling because something was wrong with her. Her voice sounded very weird, and it was as if she was putting on an old woman's voice. So after a while she takes off her gloves and I see her hands, and they looked like manly hands. They were full of hair, they had no wrinkles, and that's when I start to actually feel like something is up with her. I get stressed out. So I tried not to show her that I was panicking. I tried to play cool and calm, but when I got the chance, I decided to do something for it. I was thinking. The first thing that came into my head is crash into a tree. So I crashed onto the tree, and a few cars stopped, and they came out, they saw if I was alright. I get out of my car as well. I tried to breathe. I said, I'm fine. I was just trying to grab attention elsewhere. So I called the police. I said, hello, it's been an accident. I crashed into a tree, and this and this and this. I told the other people to leave because I was fine. And when I go to check on her, I go to the back seat and she was gone. And the only thing that was left was her bag. So I opened the bag, and inside the bag there was a small case. When I opened the small case, I see that there was ice and scissors in it. So immediately, I just thought of like that my instinct was correct. So I take the bag and I just throw it somewhere over there in the forest where I crushed my car. I throw it and I didn't tell anyone. The police came after a while. They took my details and told me what happened. I made up a story that I said I crushed. And after that, I told my friend that I crushed my car, and she came and picked me up and took me to her place. And then after a while, it was like 2-3 months later on, I hear on the news that they arrested a guy who was hitchhiking dressed up as an old woman, carrying on a bag with ice and scissors and trying to kill people in the car. One secret.
Everybody has a secret, eh? Everyone. What's my secret? So I don't know what I'm doing, I guess. It's like when you see on them, it's like when you see on social media someone looks so happy and you get so many messages saying, God, Rosemary, your life just looks amazing. And deep down you're thinking, well, it's bloody not. So what's my secret? I'm fake, I guess. I lied. My life is not amazing, it's a mess. Right now, a complete mess. And here I am stuck on my own to ponder over my pitiful life. I can't run away from everything. I can't run away forever. I wish I could run away. I wish I could run away to a different world and everything just be right.
A secret. There are very few secrets I have, and even fewer that my sister didn't know about. So, when we found out that there was nothing that the doctors could do anymore, she had gone through multiple treatments and it was all failing. I saw her suffering, and it was the worst. It's really, there's no way to describe watching your loved one die. And so, in those times, I would hope and wish and pray, which is not something that I would do normally, for her to die. How do you explain that the one person that you care about the most, you're wishing for their death? How are you supposed to share that with anyone? how are you supposed to even understand that yourself? You don't. Fuck. It's not, I don't know why I feel like I have to defend myself. It's not that I wanted her out of my life. I just wanted her suffering to end.
If I am over somebody's house, I will look through all of the things in your bathroom without a question. I won't really use anything, but I want to see what you got going on in there. I want to see inside your cabinets. I want to see inside your medicine drawers. I want to see everything. What you got in your shower. What kind of shampoo do you use? Do you have a loofah? If not, you should get one, because they're great and they scrub your dead skin.
If I could choose only one person to be with me when I die, my thoughts are my mother and Alex. But I'd hate them to suffer if I was gone, and I believe in the hereafter, so my answer's God. Because if I'm right, I'd see both of them again.
Who's the one person I'd like to be with when I die? This wouldn't be a loved one. I think it's too painful to have to say goodbye. I'd like to be with someone kind, someone with a quiet voice who's telling me everything's going to be okay, but someone who's not that dear to me. Someone who's kind of happy to let me go.
Who can I apologise to? Me? I need to apologise for my body. For putting it through so much pain.
Thank you for making me look at myself and my life and face who I have become and face what I want to be. Because I don't think I would have done this without these questions. So thank you.
At this point, these 7 women await their fate. The virus rages out of control. The world is, at best, uncertain on what comes next. What will you do?
So, which Rosemary will you choose? How will you choose them? Will it be the prettiest? The one who looks and sounds most like you? Will you disregard the old ones? Are they not strong enough? I hope that you choose the one that you feel needs to give this to the world. Me, myself, in my own plea, I'm in musical theatre, and my job is to transport people to a different world. When I perform, they're being taken out of their mundane lives and into a different world. But I would actually like to give them their own world, to actually give them the lives they have. Because if one thing has come out of this horrible pandemic, I hope it's that people realise how special their lives are, how precious life is. So, I know that sounds really corny, but it's true. Live your life to the full.
They're saying that we have these antibodies that can help cure the world. What if the one person they take is wrong? What if we put all of our eggs into one basket? Then what? It's too late. Don't vote. Either vote for all of us or vote for none of us. Either way, we have to stick together as 7. for the good of the world and everything that inhabits it. Stay safe out there. And above all else, protect the ones you love.
By now, you should have seen all the videos we found of the 7 Rosemarys. I beg you to go vote for which one you think deserves a serum injection so we can produce a vaccine. The website will be linked to this video.
I've been running all my days, all my troubles have found a better way. I've been trying to clear my head of all the useless words I never said. But oh, let's slow it down. Love